Welcome back to Zero to Wealth, the channel where future millionaires come to think smarter about their money, earn faster, and build long-term freedom. Look, if you're relying on a paycheck to get rich, you're already behind. The wealthiest people in the world aren't trading time for money, they're stacking income-generating assets that keep paying them whether they're working, sleeping, or traveling the world. That's the beauty of passive income. It works for you even when you're not. In this video, we're breaking down the 15 best passive income assets for 2025 that can help you escape the rat race, build wealth from scratch, and achieve true financial independence, even if you're starting with $0. Let's get into it. Let's be real, when most people think passive income, cash isn't the first thing that comes to mind. But here's the thing. Cash be an asset, but only when it's not just sitting still. Most people earn under 1% interest by saving in traditional banks, which is basically losing money to inflation. Smart investors know better. They move their money into high-yield savings accounts, government bonds, or peer-to-peer lending platforms, earning anywhere from 5 to 15% interest annually. That's right, just by holding your cash strategically, you can earn returns that actually outpace inflation. Now, I'm not saying to throw all your money into these and forget about it, but if you've got a chunk of cash sitting on the sidelines, maybe it's an emergency fund, a down payment for a rental property, or just savings you want to keep liquid, don't let it lose value. Put that money to work for you. In this economy, knowing where to park your cash safely and profitably is key. Okay, now let's talk about a classic wealth-building strategy: real estate. And I'm not talking about your primary residence, I'm talking about income-generating properties that pay you rent every single month. This could be a long-term rental property, a short-term Airbnb unit, or even a multifamily house. Here's the beauty of it. With the right property and financing, you're not just earning passive income from rent, you're also enjoying property appreciation and some sweet, sweet tax breaks. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Real estate is expensive, and yes, it can be. But it's also one of the most proven paths to financial freedom. You can start small with a duplex or even partner with someone to invest in a larger property. The key is to do your research, understand the local market, and find a property that generates positive cash flow. Ever wish you could get paid just for holding onto a stock? Well, with dividend investing, you can. Dividend stocks are shares of companies that pay out a portion of their profits to shareholders on a regular basis. It could be quarterly, it could be annually. It's like getting thank you money just for being an investor. Now, not all stocks pay dividends, but the ones that do tend to be established, profitable companies with a history of sharing their success with investors. Think Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, or those reliable utility companies. One of the best things about dividend investing is the power of compounding. When you reinvest those dividends back into the market, you're essentially buying more shares, which then generate more dividends and so on. Over time, this creates a snowball effect that can supercharge your returns. Index funds. If you're new to investing and feeling a little overwhelmed, let me introduce you to your new best friend, index funds. Look, picking individual stocks can feel like a guessing game. With index funds, you're essentially buying the entire stock market, or at least a large chunk of it, all at once. One of the most popular index funds is the S&P 500, which tracks the performance of 500 of the largest publicly traded companies in the US. When you invest in an S&P 500 index fund, you're spreading your money across hundreds of companies with a single investment. This diversification helps to reduce risk, because even if one company performs poorly, the others can help to balance it out. Plus, index funds tend to have very low fees compared to actively managed mutual funds. Digital products. The internet has opened up a world of passive income opportunities, and one of the most exciting is digital products. Think about it. Ebooks, online courses, templates, presets, stock photos, the list goes on. These are digital assets that can be created once and sold over and over again, without you having to lift a finger after the initial work is done. No inventory to manage, no shipping costs, just pure profit. Platforms like Gumroad, Payhip, and even Koji make it incredibly easy to create, market, and sell your digital products. The key is to identify a need in the market, create a high-quality product that solves a problem or teaches a valuable skill, and then get the word out there. Online businesses. If you're looking for a passive income stream with massive scaling potential, look no further than online businesses. We're talking about faceless YouTube channels, dropshipping stores, affiliate blogs, print-on-demand businesses, the list goes on. These are businesses that leverage the power of the internet to reach a global audience and generate income 24/7. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Starting an online business sounds complicated and expensive. And while it's true that it takes work and dedication, the barrier to entry has never been lower. You don't need a fancy office or a huge budget to get started. SaaS stands for Software as a Service, and it's one of the most lucrative business models out there. Essentially, you're building or co-owning a software application that solves a specific problem for businesses or individuals, and then charging them a recurring monthly or annual fee to use it. Think about all the tools we use on a daily basis. Project management software, email marketing platforms, social media scheduling tools. These are all examples of SaaS products. The beauty of SaaS is that it's highly scalable. Once you've built the software, you can sell it to an unlimited number of customers without significantly increasing your costs. Intellectual property. Whether you realize it or not, if you're a creative person, you're sitting on a gold mine of potential passive income, your intellectual property. This includes anything you create that's original. Books, courses, music, inventions, designs, even brand names and logos. Protecting your intellectual property is crucial, and that's where trademarks, copyrights, and patents come in. These legal protections give you exclusive rights to use, sell, or license your creations. Licensing is where the passive income magic happens. By granting others the right to use your intellectual property, you can earn royalties or licensing fees without having to do any of the heavy lifting yourself. In today's digital age, attention is currency, and building a strong personal brand is one of the most valuable assets you can create. Whether you're a YouTuber, Instagram influencer, blogger, podcaster, or TikTok creator, your online presence has the potential to generate significant passive income. Once you've built an engaged audience, the monetization opportunities are endless. Affiliate marketing, sponsored posts, brand deals, selling your own products or services, and even launching membership communities. The key to building a successful personal brand is to provide value to your audience. What are you passionate about? What problems can you help people solve? What makes you unique and interesting? Royalties are payments made to the owner of an asset for the right to use that asset. This applies to a wide range of creative works including music, books, photography, artwork, and even inventions. For example, every time a song you wrote is played on the radio or streamed online, you earn a royalty. Similarly, if you're a photographer, you can license your images to stock photo websites and earn royalties every time someone downloads one of your photos. Licensing agreements can vary widely depending on the type of asset and the terms of the agreement. In a world that's increasingly driven by technology and digital skills, acquiring high-income skills is like investing in your own personal ATM. I'm talking about skills like copywriting, coding, SEO, digital marketing, video editing, graphic design. These are skills that are in high demand and can command top dollar in the freelance market, or even better, allow you to build your own online business. Remember, we're not just talking about learning any old skills, we're talking about learning monetizable skills that can generate real income. Don't just consume information, apply it. Build projects, offer your services on freelance platforms, create content showcasing your skills. Now this next one is for those of you who like to think outside the box when it comes to investing collectibles. From rare Pokemon cards and vintage comic books to luxury watches and classic cars, the world of collectible investing is as diverse as it is potentially lucrative. Now, I'll be honest, collectible investing isn't for everyone. It's a niche market that requires a deep understanding of the specific items you're investing in. You need to know how to authenticate items, assess their condition, and understand market trends. But for those who are willing to put in the time and effort to become experts in their chosen niche, collectible investing can yield impressive returns. Commodities are raw materials or agricultural products that are traded on global markets. Think oil, gold, silver, coffee, wheat, and so on. Precious metals, particularly gold and silver, have long been considered safe haven assets. This means that during times of economic uncertainty, investors tend to flock to these assets as a way to preserve their wealth. Now, it's important to note that commodities and precious metals don't generate cash flow like some of the other assets we've discussed. They're not going to pay you dividends or rent. However, they can act as a hedge against inflation and protect your purchasing power over the long term. In the digital age, access is the new ownership, and licensing access rights is becoming an increasingly popular way to generate passive income. One example of this is NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. NFTs are digital assets that represent ownership of a unique item such as a piece of digital art, a collectible, or even a virtual world asset. By owning an NFT, you have exclusive access rights to that item. Another example is tokenized real estate. This involves fractionalizing ownership of a property into digital tokens, which can then be bought and sold by investors. Token holders can earn passive income through rental income or appreciation in the value of the underlying property. Here's a powerful concept that often gets overlooked when talking about passive income time arbitrage. It's the idea of leveraging your time more effectively by hiring others to do tasks that can be outsourced, freeing up your time to focus on higher value activities that generate more income. Remember, your time is your most valuable asset. Don't waste it on tasks that can be done by someone else for less money. This is how entrepreneurs and business owners scale their operations. They understand that their time is best spent on strategic thinking, innovation, and building relationships, not on mundane tasks that can be easily delegated. Look, wealth isn't built by luck. It's built by owning and controlling income-generating assets that scale, appreciate, or pay you consistently. And the best time to start building those assets is now. So whether you're starting with $0, a side hustle, or some savings, pick one asset, take action, and commit. Remember, the journey to financial freedom starts with a single step. Drop a comment below. Which of these income streams are you focusing on first? Let's get this conversation started. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to Zero to Wealth for weekly videos on passive income, financial freedom, and smart investing strategies.